Alright, hey guys, it is TsubakiSwagg and I am coming to you with my review of My Hero Academia. Actually, it'll be episodes 14 and 15 since I didn't review last week because, well, I watched it. I really can't even give a reason for why I didn't review it last week when I reviewed Attack on Titan because I watched them right one after the other. I don't know, had a lot of stuff going on. But anyways, so I'm going to be reviewing both of them in this episode. In this review. But My Hero Academia, I was so freaking excited. I didn't even know that it was coming back this season. I am so out of the loop as far as animes and mangas and all that good stuff. I have to get back into the swing of things because you guys know I have been kind of all over the place the past like year. It's been pretty intense. But I'm so excited. I'm so excited to be back and I'm happy to be filming. I'm catching up to stuff. I'm going to catch up to Dragon Ball Squad. I am catching up to Dragon Ball Super. I'm going to catch up to all my mangas. And I'll be back and great as ever because you guys missed me. I know you did because I missed y'all too. I missed y'all too. We have this thing where I understand you and you understand me. So I understand and I missed y'all too. Anyways, so these episodes, pretty much, long story short, there wasn't a whole lot of plot progression in these two episodes. We learned that there's this pretty much like the Olympics at UA or the Hero Academy, and it's like all of the kids in the school, they pretty much do all of these like events so pro heroes can see them and then maybe they'll get sponsored by them, and usually the kids who stand out the most are more likely to be sponsored by a pro hero, and then they end up moving up to be pro heroes as well. So it's really like a showcase for the kids in the academy to be able to become professional heroes more easily. Because from what I can gather, you don't necessarily have to be like the #1 person in the sports event or whatever it's called to become a pro hero, but it does help and it would give you more of a foot in the door if you do well. So these episodes is pretty much like, first we learned a lot of things. Like we learned some things about Uraraka, like why she wants to become a hero. She wanted to become a hero so that way she could take care of her parents, because her parents always took care of her and she never really was able to do anything. They wouldn't really let her do anything because her parents didn't have a construction like agency. So she wants to be able to become a hero and pretty much let them live easy, which is very admirable. I wasn't expecting that at all from her. I mean, not that I didn't think that she was admirable, but I really wasn't expecting that type of response from her when Midori asked her why she wanted to become a hero. So it was pretty much like learning some more about everybody and seeing everybody in class again, because they are all over the place. Especially Kachan, or Bakugo, I believe is his actual name, but we always refer to him as Kachan because that's what Midori calls him. But of course, Kachan is still a hateful asshole. Midori is still like unsure of himself, and we learn some more like All Might can't use his powers now for more than an hour and a half, which really fucking sucks because he went to the extent of using so much of his power to defeat all those villains that popped up during their like entrance exam, that he's to the point now where he can't even hardly use his powers at all. And considering that he did give Midori his powers, he's slowly going to lose his power until Midori comes to like full strength, is what I gather from that whole situation of Midori eating his hair and all that good stuff. So that whole first episode was pretty much like Midori learning about the sports event, and All Might talking to him, telling him about what was going on, and telling him that he pretty much has to become the new All Might, and this sporting event is going to be his way of saying, I'm here, I am going to be the new symbol of peace, and y'all better get ready for me, because y'all ain't ready. Y'all are not ready. And I don't even think Midori is ready, really, because he still can't control All for One, or One for All. All for One. He still can't control One for All. And I feel like, personally, with that whole situation, I feel like he's really not going to be able to control it to its full capacity until he makes it his own. Because I'm pretty sure when All Might learned it, even though All Might went through that extensive training just like he made Midori go through, I feel like All Might was able to kind of make the whole, like, make that power his own. And it feels like Midori is pretty much just trying to fill All Might's shoes instead of taking up the mantle his own way. So I really do feel like Midori is not going to be able to do anything until he gets past the fact that he doesn't have to be just like All Might. He doesn't have to do things just the way All Might does it, because this is his body. He has to control it. It's not All Might controlling his body through him. So it worries me a little bit, because, like, well, then of course we get to this week's episode, and Todoroki. I wasn't prepared for that. I knew he was pretty badass. We still haven't seen his fire side. He's really only showed us his, like, ice powers. I feel like we're probably going to see what his fire side does in the next couple of episodes, depending on how much they draw out the sports event. But he is pretty OP as fuck, and he destroyed the competition in this episode. And it didn't help that Kachan was just being a douche, and I think Midori made a good point, because he said that Kachan was, like, pulling him, like, cornering himself, or drawing himself into a corner. And I feel like he's doing that so that way everybody will come after him, and then he'll be able to show off like he usually does. Because a lot of times with the stuff, like he said, I pledge that I'll be number one, blah, blah, blah. He said that shit with a straight face, which worried me a little bit, because usually most crazy people do stuff like that. But Todoroki literally, like, stole the show with this one, because at first, of course, he came up to Midori and he was like, I know that All Might has his eye on you, even though I'm way better than you are, so I don't understand why he's watching you and not watching me, but I'm gonna whoop your ass. Pretty much. Paraphrase like hell, but that's pretty much what Todoroki said. And then he literally stole the show with the whole sports event and pretty much gave everybody a run for their money. He was, like, first out of the gate. He pretty much froze everybody's feet to the ground, destroyed all of the machines in one blow, which was flawless, by the way. Todoroki is OP as fuck. But I don't know, I feel like he worries me a little bit. He just worries me a little bit. I don't know how to feel about him, but it's going to be really interesting watching and seeing what happens in the next episode or next couple of episodes, like I said, depending on how far out they stretch the actual sports event. But I am so excited to see what happens. I'm really worried, hopefully, because, like, this episode ended with Midori trying to figure out what he was going to do to get past these machines, so it's going to be interesting seeing what happens. I'm really excited. I can't wait to see what happens. But yeah, I would love to hear your guys' thoughts on this episode or these past two episodes. How do you think things are going to turn out? What do you think about the whole Midori All Might situation? Or how do you feel about Todoroki pretty much calling Midori out, even though Midori has really never, like, said that he was going to be better than anybody and all this kind of stuff, but Todoroki pretty much singled him out because he's close to All Might. I would love to hear you guys' thoughts on these two episodes or this episode. So yeah, so as always, please remember to comment, thumbs up, and subscribe. It helps me a whole lot. And this is TsubakiSwagg saying Jana.